Good night. I'm talking about episode 39, and we're gonna talk about two approaches that are interesting of influence. It's actually bottom up and top down. They're approaches to influence people and countries and groups of people, whatever. And these two approaches are actually symbolized by our favorite villains, General Miles and Scar. Scar is more of the guy that's trying to do a top-down approach, trying to get people to realize, that violence got killed unjustly, and how he's doing that. He's just being a terrorist. And there were many times in history where terrorists were trying to make gruesome acts to try to get their point across. And I can remember again of terrorists in Brazil, the combi terrorists in the 1970s, 1980s, bombing against the dictatorship. And actually in Scotland, there was the terrorist group that I forgot right now the name, that was actually also bombing Dublin to try to, was it Dublin? They were just bombing things to, try to get a secession from the British. They wanted to separate from the British. And that's the top-down approach, to terrorism or governments, pushing some type of marketing on everybody, either through media, or even private companies pushing some type of ideology through marketing. That's the top-down approach. Bottom-up approach sounds more organic. It's just like a guy like Miles, someone just showing through example. And if they're likable enough, they're just gonna inspire the people to be like him or her. And that's the bottom-up approach. And the bottom-up approach just sounds more natural because independently of which approach it is, those approaches only work if the people you're trying to influence actually accept the idea. So the bottom-up approach just sounds more organic because when it works, it kind of catches like wildfire because it's accepted by the group. Meanwhile, in the top-down approach, where it's a more forced approach, if they tries to push some idea and that idea doesn't work, the people that are trying to push that idea, they're not gonna just give up. They're just gonna try again and force again and just keep pushing until they just give up, which is gonna take longer. Meanwhile, the bottom-up approach, it doesn't bother anybody. Nobody cares if it doesn't work. If that meme doesn't work, doesn't spread, nobody cares. It's just gonna disappear. So, and I also, personally think, speaking right now, I do think the bottom-up approach is a healthy approach. Meanwhile, the top-down, I know it's more reasonable and it's more rushed. And again, it goes back to the people with no patience theme from the last episode. But the top-down approach is way more forced. It bothers people, and it's way more authoritarian, and I don't like it. Thank you guys very much. If you guys like the video, please hit the like button. If you guys like the channel, subscribe. Thank you very much. See you guys next.